build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello everybody, welcome to Short Bangers. I'm Matty.
Hello. Oh, hello, I'm Colin. I just dived in too soon.
No, so I forgot that I needed to do that, but to be fair, I was like concentrating on the time and then I was like, oh fuck, I've still not finished my opening gambit, which I should ken by now, after however many years of doing this.
And I'm John, and I thought that we were finished for the night, but here we are.
Okay.
This is like the most devastated I've ever seen you, John.
Yes, I'll fire the Xbox or I'll go walk the dog before bed, or like I've got time. But no, here we are.
Well,
Aye, it's never ending, mate. Never
listen,
ends.
it's the free one, so it's no long one anyway, John, right?
We used to do fucking two, you know. It could have been 11 o'clock shot.
That's it.
Still been doing that.
Think yourself lucky, right? 150k on Hamlin Hill, first question of the night, and it's one for last week that we never got to. It's surely there's a short bangers question in this, he says, involving farting on the fast train and the effect it has on the slow train if both had open windows that faced each other. Like, how fast would the fart travel on the slow train after it left the fast one?
Are we talking two trains passing each other in parallel lines? One of them's going slower than the other one. They've both got windows open. Someone farts.
That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah. So you'd have to kind of like your arse pointed at the window for it to take it.
Like, for argument's sake, someone was mooning, like in preparation for a wee fart for the slower train.
At the wee window.
By the way, how good would it be if you could actually make your fart go dun, dun.
Do you remember? Do you mind the old trains, like how the window used to come down and folk would like sort of lean out and open the door before, like as the train was pulling in, so they could get off the train quickly? But that led to some serious accidents where folk were getting like decapitated and that.
Aye.
Do you think anyone's ever lost their bum cheeks, like by poking their bum out to have a wee fart at a slow moving train?
No.
Would that make the news?
I don't think it would make the news. Could you lose? Yeah. See if your bum cheek got like sliced off, right? Like you're describing there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you die?
I don't know. No, I don't think anybody's ever discovered what's inside. Do you know what's?
Just trying to work out, John, if it's serious enough to kill you, or if it's like.
How would you like? Could you imagine the cause of death on the like? How would you describe the cause of death?
Bled out.
Like
decarcitation.
Blunt force trauma to gluteus maximus.
I just wondered, would you survive it or not? You think that if it did happen, would you ever be able to sit down again?
No.
Nah, I don't think so.
But they would give some kind of replacement, I don't know.
Do you think it would be like one of those? Like a gel saddle?
Yeah. I've got a new bike. I'll replace the saddle with a gel one.
That's what they would do. Arse implants. It must be the arse implants. In fact, folk get them, don't they? Like you see folk going about with massive arses now as a fashion statement.
Yeah. But that's what they've already got an arse. We're talking about here is somebody's had them sliced off.
We're talking like reconstructed bum cheeks.
Yeah.
3 words you never thought you'd hear or say.
No, I don't expect us to be talking about reconstructed bum cheeks.
Don't be silly. We're talking about somebody who's got both arse cheeks. Stop.
But in the world of cosmetic surgery, like when I'm talking like not cosmetic for vanity's sake, I'm talking cosmetic for like you've had an injury, you've had an illness or something. Like there must be situations where folk have lost their arse, like not necessarily like sliced off, but they've lost their bum cheek. So they must be able to like craft skin like grafts and like inject fat or whatever it happens to be.
Do you know there's about to be an episode of Casualty, but can we have had to call the crash team? That was what always happened on Casualty, and call the crash team and then they'd stand back. Call the crash
apply the paddles to the arse.
Aye, where's the arse doctor? We need the arse doctor in here now. You can fucking run in.
Charlie's looking off at the ceiling.
Aye, Charlie's fucking his eyes are going over the place, isn't he?
He's still in it.
Is he?
In that?
I didn't even ken it was still on.
No, he's like a boss guy now. He's been in it since like so. When I remember Casualty, it must have been like the late 80s, early 90s. And I would go up to my granny's at a weekend sometimes on a Saturday night. She'd be at the bingo. After the bingo, I'd go up, stay at my granny's, right? and would watch Casualty and then Match of the Day or Sports Scene, and he was in it then. I was like 10-year-old.
Aye.
He's still in it. So I'm like, he must be due to retire because, like, just age. Again, like he works in the NHS, right? So he'll be on a decent pension and that, especially in a decent job he's got. How the fuck's he still working? And he's just got to be. I've got to Google him. You mind his name? That was Charlie. Yeah, I'll just Google
Is it
Charlie.
Charlie Fairbairn or something like that?
Fair something.
Just put Charlie Casual. See what it is.
Aye, tell us what his name is. But do we know, has it ever fixed a nurse?
Derek Thompson, his name is.
I would love it if
Charlie Fairhead.
Fairhead, close.
Like his surname should actually be Casualty. I would love it if in Casualty World he was able to change his name by default.
I hope his wife's Nina, and named after obviously the noise that the ambulance makes.
Nino BBC's highest paid actor.
Is he?
No way.
Fuck off.
Between 350 and 400k. You know, they've got to publish their salaries.
Wow.
Once you get to a certain amount.
That's mental.
Never mind his NHS pension. He'll be fucking minted.
When do you think he joined Casualty? He's still
1977.
No.
He finishes in 2024. He's retiring. And it must be the Christmas special or the New Year special. Right.
So what year did it start? It was fucking right. 84. Has he been in it as long as that? It wasn't started in 84, was it?
I don't know. I'll tell you when it started. Just when the Casualty start. I'm doing no less than 10% on the battery.
Oh, did we have a question about battery percentages the other week?
Neil Redden, battery anxiety.
We did,
90. Oh, I listened to that. I was on 1986. We started.
Oh, it was close.
All right, okay.
And that's when he started in it.
Wow. Can you remember anything?
So he's been in it for
1986.
No. 1986. The 18.
I think there was a stomach bug going around.
That was a bad one, that,
yeah. How the fuck did we go to church? So what happens to the fart?
Oh, yeah.
That was the question, if you remember.
How did we go into Charlie? We got into Charlie because we were talking about air cheeks getting sliced off because you're hanging your air on a windy on a train.
Have you ever wondered how far smell travels and what influences how far a smell travels?
Mm-hmm.
I have.
You have?
Aye.
Good. So really, we are well prepared for this question.
But would it travel further on a train?
I often wonder.
You're definitely going to get a whiff. Like in that situation, that if I can forget his name, that he's described.
Charlie.
No, Charlie. No, Charlie Casualty.
Who are you talking about then?
150k on Hanlon Hill.
Oh, right. Is he ever been a Casualty?
It's Chris, isn't it?
Aye, I was going to say it's Chris. I'm sure it's Chris. I think it's Chris. Check my DMs after. Fuck, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Pardon my pun.
I didn't get any puns on this fucking
thing. You would definitely be able to smell the fart from one train to another. There would be a whiff, like someone that would be sat in the most, like underneath the window, for example, they would get it, or someone at the back of the train as it passed. They would get a wee whiff.
The sort of the air in between the two trains, because they're not touching, right? Obviously, there's a gap. Do you know think that could like stick it out before? I think it would disturb it. I think it would disturb there. Like the trains passing would disturb there normally, but so any remnants or fullness of a fart would be disturbed. It would be dissipated, in fact. So actually, more people on the train, the opposite train, might be able to get to smell it. I think so. Lucky them.
Here's the thing, right? And I don't know if this is what the question's driving at, right? If you're on the fast train, it's to see like you're walking down the fast train in the same direction that the train's going, right? So train's traveling 100 miles an hour, and you're walking and catching up on the front of the train, right? So in theory, like you're moving across the earth quicker than 100 miles an hour, right? But because it is relative to the train, you're just walking at normal walking speed, right? If you fart at that point, it's also relative to the speed of the train. So if you're in the fast train and you fart, and it goes into a train that's going slower, does your fart slow down when it goes into the slow train, or does it carry its speed that's in the fast train? In which case, does it go into the slow train and just go fucking whoosh, or does it put the brakes on?
Back it.
Does it slow down and then just reach?
Could a substantial enough fart in the scenario that you described, Matty, moving fast enough, could it knock someone off their feet? Like if they were just walking down to the catering trolley, big fart hit them in the face.
Do you think this is how people think they've seen ghosts? It's a wee explanation for it. It's just like that.
It's a theory.
A physical, gaseous fucking being.
Is that far to normal activity?
Yes.
Rather than paranormal.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. All right, let's move on. I think we need somebody like Brian Cox to come in and explain that one. He'll ken the physics behind it and be able to tell you for definite.
Because he'll just tell you to fuck off, wouldn't he?
Why are you talking to me, a PhD in physics, about farts?
Right, Tom Wallace asked best pub snacks. If you've already done this, acclaim and knighthood, he said, are these the best pub beer snacks? If not, what is? And it's either bacon fries or scampi fries are the choices.
I'm a big fan of scampi fries, but I also like, is it pork rind? What do they call it? Pork scratchings. Pork scratchings. I like a pork scratching. But I don't think they're as common up here as they are in other parts of the UK.
No. I was out last night for a couple of pints after the game, and crisps, just normal crisps, sweet chilli, and a packet of plain, just on the table between us, magic. But when I was on holiday,
did you do that thing with the crisp bag where you have to open it up, like so that everyone can buy?
Absolutely. I was thinking back to when I went to Butlins years ago, and they had like hot peanuts, like the ones that are in the shell, like the peanuts, but they're in a crispy shell.
Like nobbies.
Describing it, like that kind of thing. But they were warm. That was nice.
Hot nuts.
Hot nuts. I like a hot nut.
Would you like hot nuts in your mouth?
I do. Good. As many as I could get at that time.
When was the last time you had scampi fries? And did you smell your finger after it?
Well, you've got to, have you not?
No, for years, and I think they've maybe suffered for the same thing as like most other strong flavour crisps, is that it's been hit by sugar taxes or like preservative limiting, all that sort of crap.
Would you feel comfortable opening a bag of scampi fries at your desk at work?
Aye.
Or is that one of these ones that kind of give you like egg sandwiches and that folk go, oh, fucking hell, it's stinking. Yeah. Is it acceptable?
It's so long since is it acceptable is a good question. I don't know. I decide. It depends on the mood I'm
in. Right, so if not scampi fries or bacon fries, I've seen bacon fries for ages. Pork scratchings,
bacon frazzles, that kind of thing.
Nah, I think they're just the same texture as the scampi fries, just with
just the ones
flavouring on them.
Because I can picture them on the wall behind the bar, like on that sort of bit of cardboard.
Yeah. You see that, John?
Yep.
I think that's the first time I've ever done that, and it's more or less worked.
I can. My brain can fill in the gaps. It's not totally clear, but
my eyes are getting horrendous, man. I need to get these very vocal. Sorry, dude. Honestly, it's fucking horrendous.
All right. Next question: 150k Hanlon House says a mid-tweet crisis is the topic. Do you think that you may have deleted your best ever tweet before you even posted it? Do you even care, or does anyone?
I've got a theory that not all tweets that are like heavily retweeted or heavily liked are necessarily that good. I think sometimes if it gets just a tiny little bit of traction, folk feel, oh, if I'm not retweeting that, then I'm no part of the in crowd. I didn't get it, or I'm not that funny.
Right.
What was my point going to be?
I don't know.
My best
it was a good start. It was a good start to the answer. To be
my point was going to be, I think every tweet of mine is a fucking beller, and I never get the recognition I deserve.
Yeah, same here.
With the exception of, so my case in point about my previous example about people jumping on the bandwagon or feeling like they need to be involved. There was remember the Jenners fire. So someone had tweeted Jenners on fire, and I'd said House of Fraser terrified.
Yeah,
And it was slow. It was, pardon the pun, but it was a
Slow
slow
burn.
burn. And it just got, I want to say it got like at least a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 odd retweets and likes.
good.
But that's the only one. And like I feel like my level of wit and humour is
Done that hundreds of times better. Aye.
Aye.
That was like your evening news best stroke of the festival standard,
Aye.
but you've
That
got
was
better
my
material. Better material that's gone unnoticed. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yep.
I definitely have had good tweets that have either been ruined by a fucking typo. Do you like the iPhone going? Yeah, I'm going to get that word wrong, and as soon as you tell you go, fuck off.
I've gave up correcting it until today when I found out there's an edit button in WhatsApp.
Good, eh?
That must have been a new update, was it? Because like I've never noticed that before.
It's only been recent.
You can do it on your text on iPhone as well, Colin. You can
Didn't
edit. You can fix them, and unsend them as well. If you sometimes I'll send, I'll accidentally send you a picture of a bag of chips to see like if I'm getting the right ones for the shop when I'm meaning to text Jane.
It's usually the kiss by accident.
Aye, that's it. Send Colin a wee kiss. Sometimes I mean it to you. Do you know?
I know, but I never know. I just get my hopes up, and I'm like, fuck.
But you can unsend them and that now. But there's definitely been times. The worst one is you think it's something funny to say the football, and the signal's no good enough, so the tweet doesn't send. And you go, oh, for fuck's sake, that annoys me as well. When you're like, you have to send it at that moment, otherwise it's no funny, or somebody else will beat you to the joke.
Yep.
Right. Colin, have you had any further thoughts about getting yourself back on Twitter?
Aye, I've had more thoughts. Aye.
Good. That
was if somebody can get me a decent username that I think's really good, I will do it.
I thought you were going to go for Tasty.
That was you talking about it. I wasn't on with you that night when you were talking about it.
I thought it was just a group thinking, wasn't it? Like that.
I wasn't on it. I wasn't here. It was you two thinking, no me.
Well, quickly think about it now.
I want a listener to message in with something decent,
Right.
maybe funny, like decent though. That's my criteria.
Your condition.
Decent, maybe funny. Yeah.
Right.
IKEA GTF.
Ian T said, "Are massively oversized vehicles a good indicator of personality?"
I think they're a good indicator of driving ability or lack thereof.
So, a woman in a Jaguar, it didn't matter, it was a woman, it could have been like a guy. In fact, my initial thought was it was a guy, because I said to Jane, look at this fucking prick. Coming out of Tesco the day, right? So they're a Jag. And do you know when you've got the car park that's got different like exits to come into the main sort of trunk road bit? So they come out and they've come along their aisle and just come straight out. They've no looked either way if anything's coming. I'm going, fucking hell. Just too fast for a start, no looked, straight on it. And then there's a roundabout. Just go straight on the roundabout. The fucking car coming around it. So they fucking beeped and flashed their horns, flashed their lights, flashed their horns. That's a skill. And then when you come out, there's a wee sort of retail bit on the right hand side, which got like Greg's and Pizza Hut and that. But you can't turn right into that bit. They've had to put a bit in the fucking road specifically to stop folk turning right because it adds up the queue coming to Tesco. But there's another wee roundabout right next to it. So all you do is you go right around the roundabout and come back and turn left. Right? Yeah. Easy. No, her turns right. She shows every cunt up to turn right. And then goes and parks in a fucking disabled space with like the fucking badge of that. I was like, I saw her for maybe 10 seconds and
so just in the hat trick.
It was like fucking incredible. I was like, how'd you get that fucking shite at driving?
Like a 10-second hat trick, eh? Just like nailed the lot.
Incredible. I was tempted to go right round the roundabout to go and fucking see what she was going to do next, but
just follow her.
She went in and held up the Greg's.
Try to explain to Jane. That's a fucking armed robbery. She's just done Tesco. Anyway, right. So cars. What are you saying, John? You said that. Well, about them, about their personality.
I said that the bigger the car, the bigger the car, the less driving ability that they had.
I don't know if I fully agree with that.
Is that because you've got a big car, Colin?
No. I've just got a cash guy, but I did have a Ford Galaxy back in the day when the kids were younger, and it was handy to have the big 7-seater. I think there's an element though of like, see these big Range Rovers and all that.
Aye, sorry. So just to clarify, it's not like the people carrier, like the sort of soccer mom car for the States or whatever. It's the folk in like the big SUV, the Land Rover, anything massive, basically.
Because I think but I don't know. I think it's just the schools. So I stay near a school, and if I'm coming up the road in the morning or in the afternoon when the school's coming in or out, they think they've got the right of way, and there's a mixture of big cars and wee cars there. It's almost like it's fucking school run time, so every other cunt better get out of the road, rather than it being the size of the car that causes it. It's just an ignorance, or I'm more important than you because I've just picked the bairns up, or I'm going to pick the kids up. More than the size of the car, I think.
Can I tell you a wee quirk, right, that I found recently with my driving? So obviously I started wearing glasses again more recently because I had that wee ulcer in my eye, and so I don't always put my contact lenses in. And when I'm wearing my glasses, if I go to drive into a parking space, I can't park straight. I have to I can't tell if the car it's fucking weird. My contact lenses, I can park no bother. With my glasses on, I'll park and go, is that squint? Can you have to open the door to see whether you're in the lines or no? I'd have to go and fix it. I think if it's
I didn't believe in a big fancy car that you've not got the camera. You can just press the button and see.
Aye, so I can for reversing, and I can, but I've not got it. I don't have the front one. Nah, it's no got that on it. So I have to just open the door and have a
old school.
It does have, when you open the door, though, a light that comes at the bottom and shows the car logo on the floor, which is
that's nice.
A nice touch. But there's a there's a Facebook page called, I think it's called Part Like a Cunt Unfirmly, right? And all they do is it's like folk take pictures of folk that have parked badly and share it on there, right? And I'm paranoid. I'm not meaning to park badly when I've got my glasses on, and I'm like, if I leave the car like this, I guarantee I'll look on that page later on because they're always up at the fucking Tesco, and I'm always up at that Tesco, so I can't take any fucking chances with it. I either have to park miles away for it doesn't matter if I take up, if I'm over the line because I'm miles away and nobody's wanting this space and nobody will see it, or I'm gonna have to fucking sort this out.
Are you worried at all that maybe?
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. She went, that's weird.
I was going to ask if you're worried that maybe one eye's or one ear is slightly higher than the other one that's causing your vision to be off kilter.
The lenses are different. So I've got one for distance and one for short. I spoke about this before, monovision it's called.
But you've got one eye that's short distance, one that's long distance.
So the way that they've done my glasses is my left eye, if I want to read, it's my left eye that's the dominant one, and that prescription is not as strong.
Right.
And if I'm for distance in my right eye, that's a stronger prescription in that one. But there's a big difference between them. Actually, they're about the same prescription. If I wanted to see far away, I'd have them both the same. But if they're both the same, I can't read. It's too strong for close up. So I tried the varifocals. That didn't work.
What did you prefer? Did you prefer the varies or the varies?
There wasn't much between them. And that's when I went back and said, "This isn't working." Whenever I try to read, it's fucking fuzzy. And she says, "We'll give you the monovision, and it's one short, one long." And that's I had a vision of a fucking telescope and a monocle. one wee eye and one fucking massive one.
I've never heard of that before.
I thought I'd be kicking about like Tom York with Radiohead.
Have you tried parking and we just keeping one eye open and the other one closed?
I'll try it. I'll try that next time we report back.
Yeah, glasses off. Try and park.
Or the other thing, the car parks itself. Is the other thing. It's got the. I could just drive it and This is a feature that I think car manufacturers have put in. They're going, they can't going to use this, right? Because it takes its time to reverse into a space. And it's good. It works.
Not going to make it. No.
It works fine, but I'm going to hot every cunt up here. Like, so, because I could reverse into it quite quick. But if I let the car do it, it's like fucking. So they're going, it doesn't matter if it works. So only cunt's going to use it. We'll say it's got it. But
and it's good. It's the start of driverless driving, isn't it?
Aye.
Driverless cars. By the way, can you get them for drink driving on that? Did we talk about that somewhere?
You would, because you have to step in. If it's going to do something wrong, you're still responsible. So you would.
You can't go to the boozer and get a lift in basically for your own car.
Nah, it's not like Knight Rider.
That's shite, eh? Like, what are you actually buying it for then?
Okay.
What I mean?
Knight Rider was a pioneer when you think about it.
I know.
Right. Anyway, on that note, we're out of time. So thanks very much for your questions. These were older questions that we got to, so sorry for not getting them the first time round. I'm away to try and fart my chain and no lose my arse. Right. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink water, no.